Meeting is now streaming live on Facebook.
There we go. Yeah, we're streaming live. Hello, everybody. Heather Stocking with the Athabasca Advocate, here with Town of Athabasca Mayor Colleen Powell. And we are talking about what is happening in and around Athabasca. So I guess the first thing that people will be wondering about is the old home hardware.
Well, I can't give you too much news. I don't know much more than the rest of you. You all know there was a fire. The building burned right to the ground. We had 4 fire departments, Grassland, Boyle, Collinton, and our own boys and girls from Athabasca. And it took all 4 of them, and it took them all night, and they were still putting bits of the fire out in the morning. So kudos to all of you. We were very impressed. Fortunately, the wind died down, so we weren't have embers flying all over the place, but it could have been far, far worse.
Yeah, definitely. They had to hose down the back of the building where Equilibrium and the boom glasses, because it was getting a little warm apparently.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
No, it's probably the biggest fire we've had in this town in more than a generation.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing on that scale since I've moved here in town. Now we've had some, there was 2 forest fires that came very close, but not in town. So yeah, great pity in a way. And other than that, frankly, I have no information on anything else. So.
Okay. Yeah. So in the release from Fire Chief Chalopé, they are asking if anybody has any information, dash cam footage or whatever. So it is under investigation, just so people are aware. And
I knew that, but
yeah, it's in the newspaper today. Run down and grab your paper if you haven't gotten it. All right. So yeah, more news. That'll come up. We'll update that as we go. AU, how's the advocacy going for?
The advocacy group has met with a couple of cabinet ministers as well as our MLA. For those of you unaware, this is Keep Athabasca in Athabasca University group. It is a community group, and they have hired a lobbyist who actually knows his business and is quite well regarded. So they are working their way through until they get to the people who can make these decisions. And I'm hoping for the best. The university is in the process of hiring a new president. So this is an ideal time to ensure that we can get some movement on hiring positions to Athabasca. This does not mean moving people who are already working for AU in other places. That frankly would be unfair. But we have 2 buildings here that are pretty well empty. Apparently staff have to get permission to even go in. And they have given up their leases in Calgary and Edmonton on the theory that most people should work from home. Now, they did say it's a hybrid, but I don't know if you're outside Athabasca, how it could possibly be a hybrid. Where are you going to go work? So we need people here. There are roughly around 300 people who work in Athabasca University from the area. And if they all decide to work from home and maybe move to somewhere else and work from home, we are in danger of losing our major employer. And I know in any area where there's a university in a small area, there's always a town-gown split. Well, you find me 300 workers from somewhere else.
Yeah, it's a lot of people to lose.
Yeah, so if you are interested, call up Rob Belay or Mavis Jacobs. If you want to help pay for the lobbyist, we'd welcome the contributions. The town has put money towards it, and we are hoping that we can get some movement. And a lot of movement would be better, but some movement would be useful.
Okay.
Yeah.
You haven't been in on those meetings though, but
No, I haven't. I was earlier on in the last couple of years, to the point that it was believed that I was the one doing all this. And I did not want the government or the university to think that this is a group from the community.
Right.
This is not led by the municipality. And
Right.
that's important that, you know, people in our town and in our area understand the importance of Athabasca University to our area.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
a part of who we are.
Yeah. Yeah. It's more impactful if it's coming from that grassroots, as we call it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's talk about doctor recruitment.
All right. We know that we've lost 2 doctors in the last year. One because her husband got a job in Grand Prairie, and the other for a more expanded practice. There are 2 doctors in my age group.
Mm-hmm.
You may notice that I'm not exactly a spring chicken. So one or both of them may retire in the next year or so. That's 4 down. If you have been following the news, you can see other communities have already gone over the cliff. They are closing their emergencies. They are having desperate trouble. We're not there yet, but
Mhm.
let's not get there. So we're talking with the doctors, and the 3 municipalities, county, village, and us, are going to be, it's not formed yet, trying to resurrect and reform the old doctor recruitment committee, but we're going to need a lot of community help. Again, grassroots driven is better than politician driven.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Next week, I'm meeting with the Reeve, the mayor, Boyle, and a lady called Anita Fagnon from, and I can never get the acronym right, Rural Health, P as in Peter, AP. I'm not sure what it stands for, but their job is to help people and communities like ours recruit medical staff, not just
Oh,
doctors.
okay. All right. Okay.
So I'm hoping in September we can start looking for people to sit on this committee and who are willing to roll their sleeves up. So when we get an applicant coming to town, we can really show them the town, let them meet some people and so on. And the other thing is we might want to get a video that is targeted towards, right now, specifically physicians, about what our community has to offer,
Right.
both the county, Boyle, and the town.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah. Kind of like that Take It to the Lake that showcased different things around town last year. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, no, the mayor of Boyle has said we've lost 50% of our doctors. They only have 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
50%.
Mm-hmm.
And that means a lot. So
It does. Yeah.
we're 3 doctors down, and we're going to need those numbers back up. So let's see what we can do.
Yeah, and because there's so many doctors across the province that are leaving, gone for whatever reason, retired, there's only so many other doctors filling in those locums that they
Apparently
call
they're
them.
having trouble with locums. I do know there was 53 vacancies in the north, 47 of which were family doctors, and they're having trouble recruiting. Now, a lot of the recruits come from overseas.
Right.
Because of our political situation, we're not getting many Canadians willing to come to Alberta at this time. However, that I think is a situation that will eventually resolve itself. But of course, people aren't traveling internationally. We're in a worldwide pandemic. So that may ease up as the pandemic wanders off and annoys somebody else, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. But we do have to step up to the plate.
Yeah. And it's not as simple as they arrive from South Africa or wherever and they just start working. They actually have to go through, I think it's a 6-month program to be certified for here.
It's not quite like that, but I do know they have to go through an assessment, and there's very few assessors. I talked to the mayor of St. Paul, and she has 5 doctors waiting for assessment. This was a good month ago, and she said, I'm not going to know until October. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, I think, part of the problem in Boyle is they're waiting for a doctor who's going through that process.
Yeah.
So
part of it is simply the lack of assessors.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not like a quick process, and it's been delayed with COVID and everything. So fingers crossed. So yeah, if you want to join that doctor recruitment, they can just let the town know, phone up and
or the county or Boyle.
Okay.
We will be sitting down trying to figure out how the committee should be structured and getting advice from Anita on best practices.
Okay. All right. So what's happening with the brick school?
Well, we do have a brick school committee now. We've met once. The Heritage Society is very interested in participating in this. And we will be meeting in September with Gary Chen, who is our man from Alberta Historical Resources. He's worked with the Heritage Society for the last 10 odd years on the train station, and he's worked with the United Church on their restoration as well. And he knows the town and he knows the brick school. We also have the Manask Isaac report that was done a year ago that details everything right down to how many screws you need in the door kind of thing.
Right.
Not quite blueprints, but it's good enough for grant funding.
Oh, okay.
Money may be a little out of date now. We'll have to wait until the lumber prices come down, I guess. But
yeah.
And we have money in the bank for the first, for matching funds. So we're starting. It's going to be a long process. This isn't going to happen overnight. But we've got Mike Gismondi, Margaret Anderson, Shirley Stashko, and myself, and Ida Edwards and John Trainer. Now the counselors will change after the election, but the 3 community members are there.
Okay.
So we're starting.
Okay.
Not there yet, but we're starting.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Yeah, that's a start.
Yeah, some good news.
Some good news, yeah. CERB. Let's talk about CERB.
Okay, and I never get the acronym done properly, but it's very simple. We have passed 3rd reading and now it's a bylaw. We have, as a pilot, $200,000 set aside. So anybody who wants to make their, and this is only residents at this stage until the province changes the rules.
Right.
Anybody who wants to make their house more energy efficient, you need a new furnace, you need a new water heater or a water tank, you need new windows, you want to put solar panels on, whatever. You can apply to the town and get a loan from the town on the basis of that 200,000, and then you pay it back on your taxes. If you sell your property, the loan stays with the house.
Right.
Because you have increased its asset, and so that loan stays with it. Now, we have to work out other issues like local suppliers and that kind of thing. But I'm hoping by the middle, towards the end of September, this will be a go.
Okay.
Maybe even sooner. I don't know. Rachel will be able to give more information on that. But we've still got some I's to dot and T's to crosses. But we're doing this. And I'm hoping people will use it because it should be a better deal for you than taking a personal loan out, which of course you carry with you. And the term of the loan will depend probably on how much you want to borrow. And, if you want to borrow $100,000, that would be a long-term loan. If you want to borrow $4,000, probably pay it off in a couple of years. But I don't have the details on that. And it might be flexible enough that the terms will vary.
Mm-hmm.
But it's much like a local improvement. If you've got a local improvement for your sidewalk or your road in front of paved road in front of your house, usually the term is 15 years, but that's a pretty hefty investment. So, think thoughts and you want solar panels, go nuts.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point about the loan, and that, if I take out a loan and fix up my house and I move, I'm still paying on that old house.
That's right.
But this way it stays with the upgrade. Yeah.
You've increased your asset. Also, any new furnace and any new hot water tank is going to be more energy efficient than the one you've currently got, unless you bought it last week, obviously. But,
right. Yeah.
So think of those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So other than working out the details, it's all ready to go. Is that?
Yeah, well, we passed the bylaw. Now the admin works with MCCAC to work out the final details, because we like to use local suppliers.
Okay.
From your calendar.
Alexa, stop. Sorry. I forget to turn her off.
Never use those things.
I'm a nerd. I really am. All right. The provincial elections. What can we say about, you probably don't know, for sure John LeMessurier has put his papers in. Do we know of anybody else or?
Well, that wouldn't be the provincial election. That
Oh,
would be
sorry.
the
Yeah,
local
that's the
election.
municipal. Sorry, municipal. Yes, the election that's coming up. Yes.
October 18th. Yes.
Yeah.
No, we only have one person who signed up. If you want to run, please pick up nomination papers and think about it. You can put it in a little later. It's $100 deposit. If you get half, if you lose, but you get half the votes of the person ahead of you, you get your money back.
Mhm.
You don't, well, we have $100 to spend on something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's getting close. I'm not sure when nomination day is, but it's, I think after the second week in September. And then after that, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking, please step up to the plate.
Mhm.
We're going to have probably 3 vacancies. And of course, anybody running for election knows darn well you're applying for your job again. So theoretically, there's 7 vacancies.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But if you want to help your community and you have some spare time, this is very interesting work. And you don't, it's not like the other levels. You do not do well if you're all fighting, as I'm sure people with even short memories will realize.
Mhm.
So you're working cooperatively for the most part with people. You will disagree, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be serious. You'll win some and you'll lose some, but you're making progress. You know,
Yeah.
and we have some major issues coming up, and we need good people at the table to think these things through.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been a lot of changes the last year and a half with the pandemic and stuff. And yeah, like you said, the cost of lumber going up, and who's going to shepherd the town through all of these major changes that are going to have to take place. So,
And I would say, you know, you actually have more control over what you want to say and how you want to say it than you would if you were an MLA or an MP, because then you're told what to say and you're told how to vote.
right.
Here, you
Fair,
get to
fair
vote
enough.
what you want, and you
Yeah.
get to say what you want within reason, of course.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
reason being no rude words and no slanging off anybody else. But other
Right.
than that, yeah.
Yeah. There's no party line. There's no party line to toe because
Party
it's,
lines.
yeah.
So you can be any party stripe you want or
Mhm.
are. And you shed that when you come in there because you're here for the interests of the town, not the interests of your party or the interests of the province or the interests of the feds.
Right.
It's your interest in the town, and that's what you're there to protect.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
And then,
it's a lot of fun.
mhm.
If I was any younger, I'd probably run again, but I'm not, so I won't.
Right.
Yeah, please step up to the plate.
Mhm.
There may be some burning issue that you want brought up that we haven't thought of. There's
Yeah.
only 7 of us, and there's
Yeah.
3,000 of you guys. So
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. There might be stuff out there that, you know, is a hot button issue that you guys don't know about, but definitely it is work though. We should say that you can't just show up at a meeting. Like there is some homework to do. You do need to read your package and there are committees to be on. So this,
well, usually, you know, you're on 3 or 4 committees, usually which meet once a month. But each of those committees is a separate world.
Mhm.
If you're on Water Commission, you'll be learning everything you need to know about water and the treatment thereof and the distribution thereof. If you're on multiplex, you'll be dealing with recreation and the various issues we deal with that, and so on.
Mhm.
So I'd say 10 to 15 hours a week.
Yeah.
Some weeks it's more, some weeks it's nothing.
Yeah, fair enough, right?
You know, I mean, this week I've got 3 meetings.
Yeah,
Last week I didn't.
right.
So there you go.
Yeah.
And yeah, and the more work you put into it, the better the results.
And you do get paid. You do get some money for doing it.
Yeah, we pay $1,000 a month for counselors, $1,500 for the mayor, and then you get committee money And I frankly, because we were in financial straits at the beginning, I don't take committee work, but 120 for half day, 240 for a full day.
Right.
And if you're out of town, of course, your expenses are paid.
Right.
You have to take Muni 101.
Mhm.
We're going to try and get the trainers up here this time. That's new. That never happened in previous councils I've sat on. And it's well worth it because people often come in not having a clue what we're doing, which is fine.
Yeah. No, that's, yeah. How do you learn otherwise?
Yeah. Well, I learned by diving into the deep end and struggling for air back in the late 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. You just have to dive in. Yeah, don't be afraid. That's the thing. I think people are afraid. Oh, I can't do politics. Yeah, you can.
Well, think of this as advanced volunteer work. It is a level of government, and I think it's very important to keep that in mind. On the other hand, it's part-time. You're not at it full-time. And the only qualification for any politician to get elected is to get elected.
Yeah.
You know, and I've had people come in on councils that really had no clue what they were doing, and turned out they found something they really enjoyed doing and were good at it and went nuts, and it worked well.
Yeah.
You don't have to know everything.
No.
Even after a few years, you're not going to know everything.
Oh, yeah.
If you know one or two things and can advocate for that and can work for that, fine.
Mhm.
And you know, again, it's 7 people sitting around a table trying to do their very best for the town.
Yeah.
Come on down, folks. Also, the more people who run, the more fun it is.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, nobody wants an acclaimed election. That's not very fun at all.
My worry right now is we're going to have open spots and have to have by-elections afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah. So the riverfront stage, there's been a request for proposal. What work is needed? Do you know? Or
I can't detail the amount of work. The pilings have to be replaced, and I think there may be some work on the body of the stage. It's not a request for decision. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, $50,000 over budget. So it's out anyway. We've got to fix that stage. You know, we're well aware that people think of that as one of the images of the town.
Mhm.
And it is a good looking stage.
Mhm.
Right now it's not usable, however.
Right.
So 50,000 over budget, which is appalling, but what can you do? The intake valve to the water treatment plant was 2 million over budget.
Million, yeah, 2.1 or something, yeah.
Well, it was the grants and the cost estimate was 2.7, I think.
Yeah.
And the lowest tender came in at 4.6.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
1.9. Yeah. Yeah. If you have plywood right now, you're rich, really.
Yeah, what?
If you have plywood, if you got plywood stuck
They
in the
don't
back,
put plywood in the river.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, wood is so expensive right now. It could be your retirement plan.
Retirement, yes, selling toothpicks for $5 a piece.
Yeah.
I'm told that the price of lumber is beginning to come down.
Yeah, it is.
I haven't had to buy any, so I don't know.
Yeah. And so the other thing was the Jubilee, the looping for the water.
Looping to increase water pressure. That came in either 100, I think it was 100,000 over budget. Again, something we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could leave it, we could keep adding water to the area that needs it, but then we're paying for treated water to put treated water in for other people to use. It's stupid.
Right.
So, let's get it done. It has to be done anyway, and the costs aren't going to go down.
Right. So the background, if you don't know, when EPC left where it was and moved, that caused a big reduction in the use of water, which the pressure dropped. And so, yeah, now the town has to inject water to keep the pressure up.
There's 1 or 2 spots where that has to be done.
Right.
And first of all, it takes labor as well as anything else. So yeah, no, this has to be done.
Mhm.
And all of these things coming, you know, our budget was looking pretty good.
Was, yeah.
Yeah. We're not in trouble, but we have to be careful. You know, I like to tell my friends in wealthier communities, you know, you may drive one of those big trucks. We're driving a Corolla.
All right.
You know, we're making ends meet, but we have to be careful. And we didn't raise taxes this year. And frankly, I would have preferred to raise it by inflation, because our costs, as inflation goes up, you know, we're losing money.
Right.
And I like to say we, but it's us. It means there's certain things we simply can't do.
Right.
And I would assume, although with the new council, you never know, there should be an increase next year. Otherwise, in a couple of years, there's going to have to be a big increase, or you're going to lose services. It's a choice.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The danger of not raising them for a while is pretty soon. It's a huge raise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, or like, yeah, like you said, we lose services. So, vaccinations.
Yes, you know, we were called together, 100 of my close personal friends, mayors and reeves from the north, to talk to the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Dr. Hinshaw, who made a pitch for municipalities to get people vaccinated. And then 2 days later, they announced they were lifting all restrictions. Now, they brought some of those restrictions back, but the problem is, especially in the north, although we're a little better than some, but not great, people under the age of 50 have a fairly low vaccination rate. I don't have the figures in front of me.
Yeah.
I think it was 49%.
Yeah.
And part of it is, I think, oh, gee, it's over. But the other part is, oh, I'm busy, I'll get it next week, or I don't really want to get it. I don't see the need. There is a need. The Delta variant is incredibly dangerous. I suggest you have a look at what's happening in Florida or Texas, or places where they have not bothered with these things. That could happen to us. I mean, we had a wake-up call when the school had so many cases a few months back.
Yeah.
But get the vaccination, please. They are safe. They have been tested. They're not putting chips into you, and you're not losing your freedom.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if you carry one of these, you're chipped. You know, like some people, I don't know. If you have a bank card, you're chipped. So
And
don't
they
worry.
know all about you from your driver's license
Exactly.
and your social insurance number. So
Yeah.
you're already on the list.
Yeah. And you know what? If you don't like the facial recognition cameras, especially in the major cities, wear your mask. There you go. Yeah, but no, it is important. And we will point out that the Delta variant in particular is hitting younger and younger.
Yeah, now not being a scientist, I don't know the answer to that, except the age group I'm in, 90% are vaccinated.
Yeah.
So you can get it, even if you are vaccinated, double vaccinated like I am, but it's unlikely to be severe. But if you're unvaccinated, and in Florida and Texas, they are saying that the majority of the severe cases, or the cases in hospital, are unvaccinated people. Please don't do this to yourself.
Yeah.
The vaccination. It doesn't even hurt. I felt crappy for a day with the first one and had a headache for a day for the second one. But it's rare to have anything more than feeling kind of yucky for a bit.
I had no reaction from either shot.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I got the Pfizer. And if you're worried about the old-fashioned vaccines, you get the Pfizer or the Moderna. The other two are based on the older technology.
Right.
And I don't understand that. My son explained it to me and I didn't listen.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
But please, yes, don't think it can't happen to you. I'm sorry, I know you're young, but you're not invulnerable. You can at least get sick. Everybody I know only got sick a little bit. Well, I know a couple of people who got sick really sick. So, you know, don't take the chance. And sometimes it doesn't go away. You're stuck feeling having symptoms for a long, long time.
Yeah, the long haulers, they're calling them long haulers because they're still
Yeah.
months later, a year later, having issues. And the other thing is is your higher increase of having a stroke.
Oh, really?
You don't die, you still end up in the recovered column. But are you really? Right? You had COVID, it affected your lungs and your breathing. You're going to be on oxygen for the rest of your life. You're in that recovered column because you didn't die. So yeah, think about that too. There are other things. Okay, very quickly, I guess we'll talk, we're at the end here, but we'll quickly do a shout out for Road to Hope.
Oh, yes, Road to Hope Golf Classic. I haven't got the date in front of me, Heather.
Oh, I don't either. September something.
Yeah, it's in early September. Look
Yeah.
at the website.
Mhm.
These people are wonderful. They drive cancer patients to their treatment, wait for them, and bring them home at no cost.
Right.
Now, I used them once because, long story, but I used them once. And this nice lady from somewhere near Boyle came to pick me up at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I have a cat meowing at me. I apologize. And it cost me nothing. People who are seriously ill and can't drive and haven't got other people to drive them, this works very, very well. But they need your help. Go golf. It's a great day. I don't golf, but I sometimes go anyway.
Mhm.
Not to golf, but to be part of it. And it's a fun day as well.
Yeah. Teams dress up and they have a theme and just go out and have fun and raise some money for a really good cause. So, all right. Yeah, I think that's it for this week or this month. And
next month is the last one, I think.
Next month will be the last one, and the next, and barring, if we go back under precautions and can't meet in person, we will do this in chambers. That'll be exciting.
Oh.
Face to face.
Yes, I'm not allowed to click a pen. That's the big thing.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. And
Thank you. And if you have any questions, please call me. My number's online somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
I will.